Hello, thank you for tuning in to read another story with me. Today we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be reading poetry. I have two poems I'm going to read to you, and they're both about seasons. The first one is all about fall or autumn, and the second one kind of covers all of the seasons and how they change. So, while we're reading these poems, I'm going to have you hunting for a really cool thing that poets put into poems. We're going to be looking for personification. Whoa. That was a big word. Let's say it slower. Personification. Personification. And that first part, person, kind of sounds like the word person, right? Personification is when a poet takes something that's not a person and has them act like a person. They can do it with an animal. They could do it with a thing. They could do it with a season, which we might be reading about. And they give human characteristics to those things. An example might be hidden in some of these poems. So I'm excited that we're going to get to read these, and I'm excited that you're going to get to hunt for some personification, or ways that they make things that aren't people sound like they're acting like people. All right, let's see if we can get started. The first poem we're going to read is called Autumn, okay? Now is the time when cheery crickets play their flutes under rusty thickets. Oh, so this just said when cheery crickets play their flutes. Playing a flute is something a human does, right? Are crickets human? Could a cricket actually in real life pick up a flute and play it? No, that's personification. When they're saying that cheery crickets play their flutes, I think they're really talking about how the crickets are making noises that we hear outside in autumn. Right? Have you ever heard a cricket making that kind of squeaky, scratchy sound? They're not playing a flute. It's them rubbing their legs together, actually, which is pretty interesting. The poet, instead of just saying, we hear crickets outside rubbing their legs together, which is kind of boring, they're using figurative language or personification to make it sound more interesting. Now is the time when cheery crickets play their flutes under rusty thickets. Interesting, let's keep reading. And spry grasshoppers begin to hop in every meadow and cannot stop. That's not personification. It's just saying the grasshoppers are hopping. They do that, right? That's something they actually do. And chipmunks scurry along fence rails, a spark in their eyes and a quirk in their tails. Again, that's not personification. The chipmunks are just running around. This is the time when rabbits jump over each bush and around each stump. And squirrels scamper among old roots or sit up straight with their cheeks full of nuts, and mushrooms pop right up at my door, where there wasn't a one the night before. This is the time when try as I will, and try as I do, I can't keep still. Frost in my hair, wind at my heel, I shan't stop feeling the way I feel, till I've run up a mountain and then run back, rabbits and chipmunks clear the track. Excellent. So a lot of this poem was describing what actually happens in autumn. But the part about the crickets playing flutes, that's personification. Also the part about mushrooms popping right up at the door, a mushroom wouldn't actually go up to someone's door. That could also be read as personification as well. Look at the cool illustration they have around that too. They have it organized by stanzas or different small groups of lines. And I also heard rhyming and kind of a rhythm in this poem too, right? I wouldn't just read, now is the time when cheery crickets play their flutes under rusty thickets. Doesn't sound right. Listen to this rhythm. Now is the time when cheery crickets play their flutes under rusty thickets. There's kind of a rhythm. I put stress on certain syllables. It just sounds right. Let's see if we can try one more poem, okay? This poem is called The Golden Rod. All right, let's see if we can get started with this one. Spring is the morning of the year, and summer is the noontime bright. The autumn is the evening clear that comes before the winter's night. In this stanza, this first stanza of this poem, they're kind of comparing all of the seasons to different parts of the day. Can we listen to that again? Spring is the morning of the year. So it's saying spring is like the morning time. And summer is the noontime bright. So summer is when it's noon. The autumn is the evening clear, so the autumn's afternoon. That comes before the winter's night. Oh, and winter's kind of like night. That's a really cool analogy that they kind of compared the seasons to a day. It's a good way to kind of use figurative language to make us think about seasons in a different way. And in the evening everywhere, along the roadside up and down, I see the golden torches flare like lighted street lamps in the town. Do you think there's actually torches everywhere in the evening in autumn? What would we see that would be the same color as torches in fall? If you're thinking trees changing colors, that might be a good way to think about it. Let's keep going. I think the butterfly and bee from distant meadows coming back are quite contented when they see these lamps along the homeward track. Now again, are these actual lamps? Or are they using figurative language to make us think about something in a different way? But those who stay too late get lost, for when darkness falls about, down every lighted street the frost will go and put the torches out. Can frost actually go and put out a torch? No, that's something a person could do, right? They could blow out a candle, or they could put a cover over a torch to make the fire stop going. But frost wouldn't actually do that. Here's my literacy challenge for you today. I want to see if you can take this last part that I just said, and can you kind of try and figure out what it's saying? How are they using personification? Okay? But those who stay too late get lost, for when darkness falls about, which season was darkness again? Summer, spring, fall, or winter? Down every lighted street the frost will go and put the torches out. It's a little bit tricky. Poets love to hide their meaning in their words, and you have to try and figure it out yourself. You did a great job today thinking of personification. I hope you're paying attention for personification as you're reading now. Is there ever a time that the author's making something that's not a person do something like a person? All right, I hope you tune back in for more stories. Maybe we'll do more poems. We don't know. Thanks for tuning in with me today. Bye-bye.